0, 1. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome back, traders. In today's episode, I'll be sharing with you all how you can make some substantial money trading my system on the S&P 500 for tomorrow's market session on October the 17th, okay? So let me start off by getting my big face out of the way. We're going to jump right into it, okay? Now, the most important thing that this video is going to be labeled around is the fact that we have this white midpoint that's going to be the starting point of a range, okay? Now, I think a key characteristic is to define the range both above and below so you can understand the extent of its levels of support as well as resistance, and it's just more visually easy to understand where the market is when you have this symbolization going, okay? So now that we have our deviations both above and below, we can now look at it through the lens that this is going to be resistance overhead, as well as obviously some support underneath, okay? Now, clearly just looking at the overall range, you can see that we are attempting to break out, but we have yet to do just that, which leads me into the variations we need to be aware of, okay? Now, the first variation ultimately is going to be looking at a rotation going back up to the top end of this range. Now, what we really want to be aware of is the fact that because we are looking as though we're trying to break out, that only means that we need to see an extra attempt as we push to go higher, okay? Now, the market has already given us this nice, beautiful one attempt here. Now, we're looking to push up and pull back again, okay? Now, the caveat with this one is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we don't necessarily want to break underneath this low for this variation to work out. So just bear with me on this, okay? Traditionally speaking, there's a couple different ways that this could play out, but just know that a pullback and then a continuation to the upside is the ideal manner that we're looking for in a situation like this, okay? It can be a little bit deeper, it can be a little bit more shallow, but again, in general, we really want to stay above this pivot, which is at 657 right there on the dot, okay? So just be aware that the first bullish instance is going to be looking something similar to this. And then obviously you want to enter in on the appropriate areas, which we will talk about in tomorrow morning's live stream, okay? Now, secondarily, everyone, there is an instance in which we pull back, okay? Now, we'll talk about the bullish instance in which we pull back, but first we need to mention the bear case scenario, okay? The bear case scenario would dictate the fact that we need to pull back pretty significantly, okay? It has to be deeper than this, and it has to show strength as it's moving down, okay? You get this variation to occur, now momentum has changed, okay? Momentum is no longer in a bullish stance, and we're not looking to now rotate back up to the high of this range. We're actually looking now to take out some of these lows here, okay? Let's just assume that this actually didn't touch that low yet, okay? So in this situation, we are now changing momentum, looking to take out some of these lows. So in this scenario, again, momentum is now bearish, and we are now looking to try to buy sell pops, okay? So we're simply now looking to have a retest going back up above pivots, and then a retracement back down to those prior lows that we just talked about, okay? So just be aware that in tomorrow's session, if we do fall down substantially, it has strength, similar to what you see here, then we are now changing our mindset, okay? Now, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we do have one last variation that's going to make you some money potentially tomorrow, okay? And that's the fact that if we just kind of make a new lower low. Now, we already mentioned the fact that we have to fall substantially lower. Well, what happens if we don't? Well, if we only fall down just a bit, okay, making a new low by some marginal degree that we will obviously cover in tomorrow's market session, so don't worry. You will want to see now, because the market is tilting slightly, you want to see two attempts. Okay, a nice one try, a nice two try, and then ultimately you're going to be looking for that rotation to go back up. Okay, now we are in a stance of bullishness still. However, the market is starting to shift slightly. Okay, so in this situation, yes, we are expecting, in the best case, for us to rotate all the way back up. However, we could be what is the formation of a potential range happening, okay? So just be aware that the first target is going to now be changed in this scenario, which is why I left it to the end, to trying to just retest this prior pivot high at 661, okay? So this is the yellow case scenario. Now, in the best case scenario, it will continue to push up higher in a continuation pattern that could look like this or a couple different other variations, okay? And in this scenario, we're simply now looking to buy and push back up. It's very similar to that of how this market will turn bearish. However, this is obviously the bull case scenario for the continuation, okay? So just keep those two particular concepts in the back of your mind. If we make a new lower low, the objective kind of shortens just a little bit, and then we can look for the continuation. Because ultimately, once we get back up to 661, the water's kind of muddied at that point. There's a high probable chance that we could find rejection and then ultimately go back down to the prior low, okay? That's why you need to be safe once we get back up to those prior highs. And again, this scenario only details the fact that if we make a new low here immediately, okay? So to be quite honest, these are the most important variations you need to be aware of for tomorrow. If you were to ask me personally, which variation do I want to see that will make me the most money tomorrow? I would love to see this yellow case scenario play itself out. A nice retest of the low and then an immediate push going higher, okay? Now, if we do just go straight up in tomorrow's market session, I would like for the cash market specifically to open up just a little bit lower. Like it can literally open up here and then come down and then make a new higher high. Okay, that's perfectly fine as well. And I will react on that also. Let me kind of scoot this over. I will react on that also, okay? So just be aware that those are kind of the two primary ways that I'm looking to try to enter in on this. Now, if we gap up or gap down, that's why you need to join the live stream tomorrow, because I can't really tell you what I'm going to do until I see the market live and in person, okay? All right, everyone. So hopefully this gave you a nice structured game plan to crush it tomorrow in the markets. And if you do like what you see, then obviously like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and also leave a ticker of a stock that you want to see me talk about in the future, because from time to time I do drop my strategy insights on stocks that you like, such as Apple, Bitcoin, and etc. Okay? So again, everybody, thank you for watching, and I will see you all on the next candle.
I know it's hard to trust so-called gurus. That's why I live stream my trades every single day, Monday through Friday, starting at 9:30 a.m. The live stream isn't for you to copy my trades, it's to show proof and credibility that my strategy works. The stream is delayed and muted to protect my edge. But if you want to see everything unmuted and in real time, check out the Discord and Patreon links below. You'll get exclusive perks and the opportunity to learn the system for yourself, so you don't miss great opportunities just like this one.
So you can see the chart here. All right. So what we have here overall was kind of a unique situation, because we were expecting a whole bunch of different things. And ultimately what we ended up getting was a potential range rotation, as well as just a continuation off of the bigger move. Okay. So that being said, the low of this was kind of a unique entry. Okay. This is a Gore pattern to the T. And with this, you can see it's more of a cascading, rising, higher high, and which gives us a nice entry off the base of this channel, okay? Now, that being said, the entry was a bit robust and big, leaving me to not be able to enter in ideally above the candle. So I ended up having to actually place my entry underneath based on the correct entry level, okay? That's what you're basically seeing right now. So with that being said, as soon as market action pulled back some, I do believe we entered in right here. Yes. So with us entering in right here, now we're going to use our volatility based algo that you will get as a tier 3 member. And this will basically allow you to understand where to put your stop loss based on the day's volatility. So with that being said, as I adjust this, I'm going to fast forward just a bit so this doesn't take all day. But as you can see, we have our stop loss now there at the lows, which is equal to our stop loss at the highs coincidentally. And then we use other levels objectively above to get our second and third targets, okay? Now, as you can see here, after we did pull back and kind of danced around a bit, we ultimately ended up, if I continue to fast forward this, you can see in just a second, we did get our first target, and we did get our second target right here. Oh, excuse me, right in a second. We did move our stop loss up because we got our first target. Sorry about that. Then we got our second target right there. And now it's just a matter of are we going to get our last target? So there is a rhyme and reason to how we kind of trail, just so you know. But in this instance, as you can see, as we steady started to creep up dramatically closer to our target, we essentially maintained our stop loss closer as well. So as it continued to push up, we continue to push up as well. There is a trade secret for this, so don't fret. When you do become a member, you'll learn this. But in general, it just allows us to stay in as best we can, okay? So as you can see, our target was up there. We adjusted accordingly, and we did end up getting stopped out before the target high, although I did adjust the target high just a bit. So we ended up getting pretty much all the move, okay? So with that being said, everyone, this was the trade of the week that you'll be seeing pretty much in all the videos for today or for this week. And if you don't want to miss opportunities just like this, then simply look down below for the description so you can get access to the Discord/Patreon. Okay. Thanks for watching. See you on the next candle.